All right, getting into our week 2 reactions. So we're going to see what I thought week 2 would go like.
It's a pretty easy Commanders for me.
It was not. The Packers, unfortunately, appear to be very good.
Pretty easy. Baltimore.
Yep.
Ooh, this is a tough one. Bengals and Jags. I'm going to take the Bengals still. Although I think it's going to be close.
It was close, 31-27.
Giants, Cowboys. Ooh, Cowboys.
Barely in overtime. Very good game.
Lions, Bears. We're going to beat up on them.
I had no idea how much. 52-21.
Patriots, Dolphins. Give me the Patriots.
Yep. They managed to get it done.
49ers over the Saints.
Correct.
Buffalo over the Jets.
Yep. Despite week 1 making it look like it was going to be close, 30-10. Not very close.
Seattle over the Steelers.
Correct. I know this is the one of the ones I changed last week. So my original hunch was better than my week 1 gut change.
You be mindful of getting the Steelers to 9-8 because it always happens. Rams over the Titans.
Yep.
So Carolina and Cardinals is interesting. Cardinals didn't really bring in a ton of talent. Panthers obviously got T-Mac and signed Dowdle and Trevor Etienne if you think he's good. Which I'm not saying that I don't think he's good. I just don't know. I'm going to take the Panthers here.
Despite their best efforts, the Cardinals did not manage to lose this game. They tried very, very hard to give it away many times, but Bryce Young was just incompetent enough. Just kept on throwing the ball way past his receivers or way short. So the Cardinals get this one done. I think I changed my prediction in last week's video to say that the Cardinals were going to win this. So that was a good hunch if I actually did do that.
Not 38-18, but I will take them. Broncos over Colts pretty easily.
It was not pretty easily. The Colts managed to the Colts managed to have a game-winning drive and a last-minute field goal that they got to re-kick because they missed, and they got to re-kick it because of a Broncos leverage penalty, which leverage doesn't get called very often, so it's an interesting case there. But the Colts are 2-0, and the Broncos are 1-1.
Philly, Kansas City. Jesus. Kansas City at home. Give me the Chiefs in a revenge game. Rice should be back and healthy. Yeah, that's about the scoreline. I mean, that's not a realistic football scoreline, 18-16, but yeah, that's about what I'm expecting the point differential to be.
So interesting. I think I didn't change the Carolina Arizona one now that I think about it, because I remember changing 2, and this was definitely one of them. So in there, I talked about Rice being back. He is healthy but suspended. Worthy's currently injured. So last week I did change my tune to say that Philly was going to win this game, and Philly did win this game, 20-17. So the scoreline was pretty close, but it's just a more realistic football score.
Falcons, Vikings. And the Vikings to bounce back in week 2.
The Vikings, first of all, didn't have anything to bounce back from because they beat the Bears. But second of all, even if they hadn't beaten the Bears, this was not their bounce back game. They lost 22-6, did not score a touchdown. The offense looked putrid.
Tampa and Houston. Give me Tampa.
That is correct. Tampa by 1, 20-19. Texans have looked real bad.
Chargers and Raiders. Win the Chargers.
Chargers is correct. Nicely done. That was a late game to stay up and watch. I was very disappointed by a lot of things in that game. Geno sucked. Ladd was a catch short for some of my leagues. QJ was not good enough to save me in one of my leagues, but too good and buried me in another. So it's just all of the fantasy things went very wrong for me in that week. All right, so let's go back and score ourselves here.
Week 2 to summarize: Commanders over Packers.
0-1.
Ravens over Browns.
1-1.
Bengals over Jags.
2-1.
Cowboys over Giants.
3-1.
Lions over Bears.
4-1.
Pats over Dolphins.
5-1.
San Fran over New Orleans.
6-1.
Buffalo over New Jersey.
7-1.
Seattle over Pittsburgh.
8-1.
Rams over Titans.
9-1.
Panthers over Cardinals.
9-2.
Broncos over Colts.
9-3.
Chiefs over Eagles.
9-4 for here.
Vikings over Falcons.
9-5.
Bucks over Texans.
10-5.
And Chargers over Vegas.
All right, so 11-5, but I think both of the changes I made were to the one of them was, so I changed one to be wrong and changed one to be right. So I'm 11-5 still in the other one too. So not a bad week. 11-5 in both my original thoughts and my edited thoughts.
All right, let's go to week 3.
Let's go to week 3 indeed. So Buffalo over Miami, super easily, yeah. Atlanta over Carolina, how they're both playing right now. Yeah, Atlanta. Packers over Bears, yep. Or not Bears, Browns. Packers over Browns, yes. Jacksonville over Houston. Houston did look better last night, but I'm still going to give it to Jacksonville, I think. Jacksonville's been close. The game against the Bengals, they were starting to look like they put it together. So Bengals over Vikings, yeah. Even with Jake Browning at the helm, I think they managed to get it done because they're going to be playing against Carson Wentz for Minnesota. So probably Jake Browning. Steelers, Patriots. I feel comfortable leaving this, but I could easily see it going the other way. Philly, Rams. Yeah, Philly. Philly's not looked good, but the Rams have not looked better. So Jets and Bucks. I'll give it to the Bucks. And then let's skip ahead a little bit. Colts, Titans, easily Colts. Commanders, Raiders. You would hope easily Commanders. The Raiders looked bad last night. Geno looked bad. But JD5 is having a knee issue that may play out to be him sitting out. And then you have Marcus Mariota. I don't know if Marcus Mariota has what it takes to, because I will say this, the Raiders defense looked pretty good for most of the game last night. They just got tired towards the end. Okay, and then Chargers, Broncos. I will give it to the Chargers. Chargers looked good last night, despite not throwing to who I wanted. Hampton is kind of a little suspect at the moment. Najee looked better than him in spurts last night. Seahawks, Saints. I could see that changing, but I'm going to stick with Seattle. And then Bears, Dallas. Ew. Dude, I'm going to stick with the Bears. San Francisco, Arizona. Definitely San Fran, even with Mac Jones. Chiefs, Giants. Okay, real talk. Chiefs are 0-2 right now. How funny would it be if the Giants win this game? It's going to be Chiefs, but the Giants looked somewhat competent on Sunday against the Cowboys, albeit. But the offense was starting to get it together, and the defense has always been good, or at least has been good for the last several years. Lions, Ravens. Gotta give it to the Ravens. The Ravens have looked really good so far this year, and the Lions bounced back in a big way in week 2. But yeah, the Lions are probably not going to beat the Ravens. Did I change any of these? I didn't change any of those on that screen. Didn't change any of those. Yeah, I'm sticking with my gut on these ones. None of them are changing. So take it as it comes, but it should be, this is what I'm looking for. All right, I will come back and see you after week 3.